Chris Sands has hiccups. Not ordinary hiccups. He's had them for over 2 years, and they've made his life a total misery. His hiccups are so serious that Chris hardly sleeps. He struggles to eat, and his health is deteriorating. He's tried dozens of cures from all over the world and seen NHS doctors who remain totally baffled by his condition.
I've tried everything I could imagine. Acupuncture. I was in an oxygen chamber. I tried hypnotherapy.
This is the story of a man desperate to find a cure.
I'm not letting the hiccups control my life. My life is going to control my hiccups.
Chris Sands, a 25-year-old aspiring musician, has had his life taken over by a condition that for most people is only a temporary irritant.
When you first tell people about the hiccups, they do laugh straight away, and I suppose they don't think about how debilitating it is. It has ruined my life, pretty much.
You okay?
Yeah. It's just always difficult to walk. Because you can't take breaths in the right places.
Chris's hiccups are so extreme, he's unable to work and still lives with his parents in the small Lincolnshire town of Timberland. His mother, Christine, is all too aware of how important her role is, while Chris searches for a cure.
As long as all the friends and family that he's got keep up the moral support, yeah, he'll be okay. I think a lot of people would have cracked before now, you know, just the hiccuping all the time. He does well to keep a smile on his face.
Chris's positive attitude and passion for music have kept him going through his ordeal. His dream is to be signed by a record label, but the hiccups have made it impossible for him to pursue his career.
Before they started, I was getting very good at the guitar. I'd written a couple of songs on the piano, which I literally only just started playing and started getting really good at. I was making something of myself, if you like. I was getting better at things I was doing, and I was quite easily on the way to doing something with my life. This is where it struggles. And then the hiccups started and kind of put a stop to all that.
You all right?
I just can't breathe. No, I'm all right. I'll recover.
The hiccups have had an impact on more than just his music.
He doesn't even get to pull. He hasn't had a girlfriend for about 3 years because of it. He gets all the girls around him, and then he'll be sat around hiccuping, and then they just slowly walk away. It's horrible. It's a bit disheartening.
I've got no job, I've got no car, and I still live with my parents. Those 3 facts alone do not pull women.
There are a number of reasons for hiccups, from eating too much too quickly or from drinking alcohol. But if it were only that simple for Chris. Unable to afford private healthcare, he's reliant on the NHS to help find a cure.
I've had a brain scan, I've had a chest scan, I've had an abdomen scan, I've had 2 cameras down the throat, I've had 2 pH tests, like 2 tubes down the nose, 24-hour tests. I've had consultations in between. I've had loads of consultations with doctors and surgeons and my own GPs. So they are doing stuff, it's just when they stop doing stuff, that's it. That's when I know I'm screwed, unfortunately.
In the meantime, Chris has resorted to an extreme homemade remedy to help stop them. It works, but only briefly.
What are you actually trying to do?
Trying to get rid of my hiccups by downing as much water as my diaphragm can take. You're basically denying yourself oxygen and you're coughing and spluttering, and it's just, the whole process is very unpleasant. Then to walk out the toilet and 2 minutes later start to get them back and have to run back in again, and then you end up on a bit of a vicious circle.
You all right?
Yeah, just too much water.
Chris and his mum have their own theory to explain his hiccups. He was born with a weak stomach valve, causing him difficulties keeping food and water down. It also gives him constant heartburn. They believe it's this birth defect that's responsible for his hiccups.
That's him in the sink. That was at Branston. He's probably in the sink because he'd just been sick. He did start getting heartburn quite a lot, and that got worse and worse and worse.
I've seen lots of children in my lifetime, and I've never seen one in our family being born like Christopher.
Yeah.
To me, he was like a little skinned rabbit.
I just believe it's something to do with the constant heartburn that I've had since I was younger. It's got to be, because that's the only link I've got. That's the only thing that's been consistent through this whole thing. I've had heartburn for God knows how long, and now I have the hiccups. We've just got to figure out what damage that heartburn's done to find the cure.
Chris has now decided to have surgery to deal with the heartburn. Doctors have told Chris the operation won't cure his hiccups, but Chris is still hoping for more.
Hopefully, we're waking up with a perfectly reasonable valve. And if I don't, then that I should be. And apparently, if by any kind of miracle that randomly cures the hiccups, then fantastic.
The problems is we don't really know what the cause of hiccups is. We think this should benefit him and allow him to keep his food down and put some weight on. Although, as you're all aware, it's unlikely to make any benefit to his hiccups.
The following day, Chris is assessed fit enough to be discharged, and his dad Ken arrives to take him home. Chris can feel the hiccups returning, and even though he's been given painkillers, his surgery makes resisting them extremely uncomfortable.
I don't want the hiccups coming back now. I'm nearly there. Yeah, they're very close. Well, yesterday's intention was to make life more comfortable. And although in the short term it's going to be very uncomfortable, in the long term it's going to be much better. I will once again be allowed to eat a pepperoni pizza, which I haven't been able to do in about 15 years.
So you're cured?
Oh yeah, cured perfectly. No problems here. Yeah, no, the operation, yeah, did its job. The operation's absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad to not be with that pain anymore, not be bringing up food anymore. It actually is brilliant. No matter how this looks, it is better. Normally, I'd be like this, and I'd be in excruciating pain. I'd be acid in my mouth right now, but there just isn't anymore.
Even though Chris can now hold down food, the hiccups are as bad as ever, and he's nowhere nearer to finding a solution.
I've only got a few cures left that I haven't already tried in the last 2 years. I feel like I've almost finished the search, if you like, to find cures that I can personally find myself on the internet or in literature. And you can only be proactive for so long before there's nothing to be proactive about anymore. There's nothing else to look for. You've looked for everything. You've typed in every combination of hiccups or chronic into the internet and found every combination that you can find. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to go about it, really.
In desperation, Chris has turned to the media to help search for a cure. They love his unusual story and hopes that someone will see him and come forward with a cure.
it's kind of not a proper illness. It's kind of slightly a comedy affliction. But it was drive you nuts.
Yeah, it can drive you absolutely nuts.
News of Chris's hiccups has even spread all the way to Japan.
Tell us how it all started, how your hiccups started.
The hit Japanese TV show, World Astonishing News, well known for their love of bizarre stories, found out about Chris on the internet, and he will star in their programme.
You know of a cure. If you know anybody that's got a cure, please help me. And please contact somebody to contact me.
A specialist of Oriental medicine has seen Chris's plea for help.
Mr. Christopher Sansalmud. Hello, this is Keishiyama Seiyu. I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine. I'm thinking to come to cure you next week.
Seiyu Kageyama decides to fly to the UK free of charge. He's convinced he can cure him.
All right, there's people that have been cured. They all seem quite happy about it. Do you think my face will be among them? These happy people on this site. Do you think that's him? Who knows, eh? I'll just hold up the name sign in his general direction. Yes, hi. How's it going? Yeah, hi, nice to meet you too.
Mr. Kageyama will live with Chris at his home in Timberland and subject him to 8 days of intensive treatments and therapies.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Well, I think that's why I want to
help.
Kill you.
Yes.
Don't like.
No.
Yes, that's why
it means,
I want to kill you. Cure you. Yes. Do you understand?
Yes, absolutely.
This will help me for communication. Everybody tired.
Yes.
Everybody tired. You also.
Yes, we're all tired.
Very old.
Mr. Kageyama has brought with him a secret medical journal. It contains research and cures his family have passed down from one generation to the next. He refuses to reveal its contents to anyone. Not even Chris knows what's coming.
Jesus!
Okay.
Mr. Kageyama is prepared to be aggressive in his treatments if he's going to stand a chance of curing him.
Jesus Christ, that muscle hurts.
Jesus, what is Jesus?
Oh my God.
God's son.
God son.
Yeah.
God son.
Yeah.
God have son.
Yes.
I can't help but like him because of his enthusiasm and his kindness in general. Even though he's punishing me, absolutely punishing me. But you can't falter his kindness through all that brutality.
But after days of painful and intrusive treatments, Mr. Kageyama is unhappy with the way Chris is reacting to his methods.
A little pain, he will do this. Oh, painful.
Ah.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
It's
Yes.
a problem.
Yes.
How can I lose this problem?
I'll talk to Christopher.
Please.
Yes. Yes. I'll tell.
Because we have no time.
That's right. I'll talk to him. You've got to allow him to hurt you.
Look at my back.
Well, what it is, you're going. So he's stopping.
Well, that was because it hurts.
Although Chris is willing to subject himself to the daily ordeal, he's starting to have doubts the treatments are going to work.
And it feels such a shame because of the amount of effort he's gone through, the amount of treatments he's, or even the amount of needles he bought, all the crazy stuff, his secret book. He's got in everything. And yet nothing's touching this problem I have. And now I almost feel like I don't want to take the pain anymore.
With no obvious progress being made, Mr. Kageyama turns again to his secret manual for help. Even though Chris is no longer vomiting, the doctor thinks he's spotted a link between his history of stomach problems and his hiccups.
In this case, eat and make a problem. We will think this one tumor develop a tumor.
Not tumour.
Not tumor.
No, I'm not vomiting, not being sick. Not blah, 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 not, no.
Chris believes that a stomach tumour isn't the reason for his hiccups. Over 2 years ago, the NHS did a series of tests, including a CT scan, and couldn't find anything.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous, yes. Yeah.
Kageyama is left with one last treatment. It's a life-threatening procedure and will involve inserting a 6-inch needle behind Chris's rib cage, very close to his heart.
Yes. If he sayonara.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
I'm hurrying up. Well, I didn't want the doctor to see me cry because I didn't want him to realise how upset it's got me. Like, well, I'm crying. I mean, I haven't even done the procedure, but it's nerves, isn't it? Like you're putting your child in danger for something as ridiculous as a hiccup. But in Christopher's case, it's not a ridiculous thing because it's absolutely ruining his life. You are.
Crapping my pants. But whether I'm going to be able to take one all the way down to my diaphragm.
When a spasm happens,
Oh, yeah, that's
it's
it.
in the wrong place. Oh, I don't like it.
No, I don't think I will. It's not worth it, is it?
Chris decides against Kageyama's treatment. If he hiccuped at the wrong time, Kageyama's needle could puncture his heart.
Would you like it in?
Okay.
After 6 days of treatment, Kageyama has done all he can, and together with his secret book of cures, heads back to Japan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give me a hug.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Hope you good water.
I said that I wasn't going to get my hopes up, but just before he kind of got here, I was a bit hoping that he had the answer. He was so confident and stuff, but as I've said, yeah, I've gone through it so many times of people being really 100% confident, saying, I'll treat you for nothing, I'm going to come here and do it for free because I'm so confident. And it's never been a cure, so yeah, I'm kind of used to it.
Chris has hit another dead end. The realisation that there may not be a cure is sinking in.
The prospect of me still having the hiccups in 6 years' time is extremely depressing. I'm starting to lose the feeling of what it's like to be normal.
One month later, and no nearer to finding a cure, Chris is contacted again by the Japanese programme World Astonishing News. He was such a hit in the last programme that they're now paying for Chris and his sister Donna to fly to Tokyo for even more treatments and investigations.
I'm looking forward to seeing what people have got. Seeing if one of them just holds them off a little bit longer than normal, so I can kind of really enjoy Tokyo without the hiccups. But I can't see it. I can't see myself getting cured over there. But I'm all for surprises.
After a 12-hour flight, Chris walks straight into the hands of the Japanese film crew who will record his every move throughout his stay.
After a massively long flight, it's nice to be on firm ground again. And in Tokyo.
It's lovely to see him so enthusiastic about being in Tokyo. It's really nice, just every different culture. He's getting his camera out and taking pictures. He's like a little kid. But it's lovely to see, but it's just so unfortunate that his illness brought him here opposed to going on holiday to Tokyo.
Chris is taken straight to see Dr. Kondo. He's treated over 200 patients with hiccups and has been studying the condition for years.
Your hiccup is continuous or some intermittent?
No. Intermittent. If I eat, they're worse.
With a tight deadline, the doctor has no time to waste.
The time given for me is only 1 day, so usually we need some 2 or 3 months to treat patients, but I will do my best.
Chris is put through a series of tests to find the cause of his hiccups. Dr. Kondo has discovered that hiccup patients can have brain abnormalities, which can be found by using a detailed scan called an MRI. After 6 grueling hours, Dr. Kondo has found nothing conclusive.
My doctor will contact you.
Yes.
We'll get the X-rays, the MRIs.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Well, arigato. And sayonara.
He said it was probably to do with nerve damage, which I agree with. He couldn't find a particular cause, which I understood. He was a little miffed by all it seemed.
The following day, Chris is with the film crew when he gets a call from Dr. Kondo. He wants Chris to return for a second MRI scan.
He's kind of clutching at straws right now.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't really find anything significant yesterday. But even if he does find something, what's he going to suggest?
Chris arrives at the hospital to meet Dr. Kondo before he agrees to the scan. But the doctor has some information that can't wait and asks to speak to Chris alone.
You guys have to stay out of the room now.
The news is devastating. Yesterday's scan has revealed a possible tumour on his brainstem. If Dr. Kondo's right, the tumour could explain the reason for his hiccups. It could also be life-threatening.
Got a brain tumour.
After going through Chris's medical history and the type of scan he originally had in the UK, Dr. Kondo thinks he knows why the tumour went undetected.
CT はですね、非常に検出数には弱い検査なんですね。ですから、MRI を取らないと、ディテクトできないということがあります。イングランドでも、MRI の検査でなさっていれば見つかっているかもしれません。
Chris is immediately sent for another MRI.
He said in his experience it's probably operable if it's of a major size, but at the moment it's tiny. It looks tiny. It might just be okay. It's probably okay.
Chris's NHS doctor believed because the CT was normal, it wasn't necessary to also do an MRI, and there was no guarantee it would have detected the tumour.
It's really intense, isn't it? It's just that I just can't do anything.
Dr. Kondo has the results. It confirms their worst fears.
There is some kind of tumor.
Right. Okay. Yes, the light bit.
White, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Just a bit different from normal tissue. So this is a tumor area.
How many millimeters is this? Can you tell?
About 12 millimeters.
12?
12.
Really?
So how big? What's this about? This big?
Yeah.
Can it be removed?
We recommend you to ask some neurosurgeon or radiologist to take care of this.
I like going through different emotions. Obviously I'm really upset, but then I'm really angry. One day here of 2.5 years of suffering.
At their hotel, Donna wastes no time organising a consultation in the UK.
Spoke to our family doctor. I was quite anxious that he should get the ball rolling whilst we were in Tokyo. And he just explained that actually a couple of days over the weekend isn't going to make much difference, which I suppose it isn't really. Like, you just want things to get moving instead of having to wait and wait and wait and wait, i.e. having to wait 2.5 years to be diagnosed with a tumour.
I first got the hiccups September 2006. In the first 2 weeks of having them, after about 4 days, I searched in the internet for cures and reasons. And I came across a thing that said hiccups could be linked to brain tumours.
What did you do about it?
At the time I went to the doctors after 4 days, said, look, I'm a bit concerned if hiccups are this long. I'm afraid they can be linked to brain tumours. They said, don't worry about it. It's probably just linked to your heart. But here's some Gaviscon. I've had an MRI scan. Turns out I did have a tumour in my brain.
So now I've got a cross-section through your brain and we've got a side view, and if I do something clever with this machine...
Back in the UK, Chris is referred to David Jelinek, a top neurosurgeon at Sheffield Hospital.
The radiologists in Japan think the most likely explanation for Christopher's tumour is that he's got something called a subependymoma, which by definition is a very slow-growing, i.e. benign brain tumour. It is inconceivable this is a cancerous tumour because Christopher would not still be alive, having developed symptoms 2 years ago. Now, we looked at this lunchtime today with my neuroradiology colleagues, and there's an abnormality sitting here in the back of your brain, lower brainstem, which is the tumour which is responsible for your hiccups. Part of it's coming out of the back of your brainstem, but you can see it's kind of denting in here a bit.
Yes.
Okay? There's the tumour. And that's your cardiovascular heart and rate and blood pressure control centres, and they're about 2-3 millimetres away from where the edge of that tumour is. Okay? Yep. So the potential for margin of error here is 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as for the left-hand side thing, you said temporary loss.
I would not be surprised if you will need a stick to help you walking, certainly for the first few months after you've come out of here. Right, because you really will be... You won't really quite be sure where your left foot is, right?
But my left arm?
Left arm possibly the same, so, okay. There is a small risk to your life for me taking this tumour out. If something catastrophically goes wrong in that part of your brainstem, you do not wake up, you do not breathe, your heart stops.
Jelinek believes the risk to Chris's life is worth taking in order to remove the tumour and hopefully make him hiccup-free.
Nothing's supposed to happen to your children. The event of things, you know, you go and then your children go and then their children, and that's the correct way it should be. And, you know, your children are supposed to outlive you and be well. It's...
What's going through your mind?
Well, you sort of imagine the surgeon coming out and saying, I'm ever so sorry, it's gone wrong. You know. And then you think, oh, put that thought out of your mind. Oh, stop it, look a minute. Oh, Jesus, you started me off. You sod. No. And you've got to think he's going to come out with a smile on his face and say that everything's really, really gone well. That's what I want.
After waiting 6 weeks, he's finally having his operation.
All right. See you later. Look after him. We will.
Well, that's right. Oh.
Yeah.
Can I see you for half an hour?
See you later. Yeah. See you in a couple of days.
Yeah.
There's this massive piece of me that is just so scared. This is proper fear. I'm scared of dying, and I really am. You can't help but think about it because it's there right in front of you, and it's that kind of risk that I'm taking. No matter how many times I try and think of how good it's going to be hiccup-free, you can't help but think of all the stuff that potentially could go wrong.
This bloody thing. Yeah, it's like a bloody old boot.
A team will monitor Chris's nerve pathways, warning of any damage being done during the operation.
Well, it's wise to call us a day at this point. Yeah. I'd rather not bugger his hands as well as his legs.
3 hours into the operation, Mr. Jelinek has removed nearly 2/3 of the tumour, but feels he's gone far enough.
Well, he seems to have stopped hiccuping, and my consultant anaesthetist says it's not the anaesthetics. So, with a bit of luck, having taken out the lump that was causing his hiccups, which is what I think I've done, they will now stop permanently. We'll find out in the next 24 hours. Oh, hi, Mrs. Sands. Yes, fine, it's sterogenic. The lump has been largely removed, and he's moving everything. Okay, but he would not be doing that if I'd done him something awful to him. All right? Okay, and he seems to have stopped hiccuping as well.
Hi, Chris, I you come round. Oh, Jesus. Everything's gone well, sweetheart. We'll wake you up in the morning. Hiccups. Oh, Jesus.
Looking as you, Christopher.
And lift your bed up a bit.
Can't see their beautiful faces yet.
Can't see their beautiful faces. Do you want the light on?
Hello.
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 How you doing?
I've got a bit of a headache.
I bet you do. You feeling good apart from that?
No, my left arm's pretty dodgy.
Pretty moving it though, Chris.
Oh, yeah, but it's...
Touch your nose.
Really... No, it's last time I smacked myself in the face really hard.
Obviously the big question.
The hiccups. They appear to be gone. Although I can't really enjoy this moment as of yet.
I'm still scared of it coming back, so you kind of get that tingling feeling around the centre. I'm going to be able to sit for at least an hour and play my guitar without any interruptions from bloody hiccups. Or lay down and sleep just normally, like a normal person would do.
It's Chris's sister's wedding day. He's recovering well and is without any of the paralysis and serious damage he feared.
2-3 weeks ago, I was like, am I going to get married? Are we going to cancel it? Is he going to be in intensive care? So it's absolutely made my day. Makes it 2 celebrations, really is. It's lovely. And he looks really smart as well, which makes a change. All right.
See you a bit, Donna.
That's it, that's good. Doing really well there.
Although Chris is recovering from his operation, not everything is as it should be.
The hiccups are trying to come back, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What about a long time to come back, hasn't it?
Oh, I've been trying to come back all day now. Yeah, it is wrong, yeah.
Could have stayed away for today though and come back tomorrow.
They could have, couldn't they? You tell them. Around about a week after the operation, there was not much sign of the hiccups, and then kind of a week and a half, I had 1 or 2 little hiccups, and now they seem to be getting worse and worse every day. I can't deal with having the hiccups all over again. It just would not work for me. I've already had 3 years of it. I've had brain surgery, I've had a stomach operation. Before this whole thing started, I hadn't even had a tooth out. And now I've got a 6-inch scar down the back of my neck. So, they'd better go. Absolutely lovely. It's a really nice occasion to be at after this amount of time. Really nice.
Chris has made a remarkable recovery, and he thinks he'll be hiccup-free in just a couple of months' time.
The hiccups have definitely improved since the operation. There was a period of them getting worse after the operation, and now, and I'm sure that was due to the swelling. People told me it was due to the swelling. It's incredible to think how much I've gone through. It's nice to know that I've got a future without the hiccups now. It's like I'm getting my life back. It feels good that there is progress, and it feels good that I finally found a cure, I suppose. Yeah, it feels fantastic.
Next on BBC One, we're off to the movies with Jonathan Ross in the new series of Film 2010.